why does Hoi 4 not have multiple start dates? I won't lie to you, it is really fun, particularly in EU4 and the other previous Hoi games, Hoi 3, Hoi 2, to look at the start dates and just look at the world and observe the changes with it and have a little browse around. The real reason is that very few people played 1939. Most people in these kind of grand strategy games prefer to the earliest start date. I think a lot of the time when you're building up your nation, choosing what to research, what factories to place, building your divisions up, making your divisions build up, making your tank designs, making future air designs, making your ship designs, these are the most fun aspects of Hoi 4. Because to plan for war is also as fun as the war itself. Because if you have a really good strategy, you want to pull it off in a war to see how effective that strategy actually is. And when you start on a later start date, most of it's already done for you. In this case, as you can see, like we've got loads of stuff that's pre-researched, so you didn't get to really choose your research. Most of the production's already been selected for you. The problem would happen is whenever they release a new expansion for Hearts of Iron 4 is they'd have to go back to this other start date of 939 and then update everything with the new things. So the new ships, the new tanks, the new research that's involved, and to try and make it as historically accurate as possible. A start date that no one's playing, but yet they need to go back and update it over and over and over again. And the problem would only get worse. If there was a 1940 start, or 1941 start, or 1942 start, don't get me wrong, I know you guys would be excited about that. You want to look around the map and see how the world looks at that point. But the problem is no one's playing it. Hoi 4 is a game you actually play. It's not just a piece of art that you look at. And I know you guys have played EU4 before, and you've skipped ahead in time to like the Napoleonic era, one of the chapters, and had a little look at the map and whatnot. And it is really cool to see the borders of the world back then. Problem is, nobody's playing them. You've got to choose yourself. Do you want the devs to spend 3 months wasting time improving old scenarios and new start dates? Or do you want them to actually focus on making new DLC and improving the base game, the ones that people are actually playing? Because I got into a debate with a guy who DM'd me and he said to me, like, why does the devs never make what the community wants? And I'm like, I'm confused, dude. People screamed for a Soviet Union rework and you got it. Italy rework, you got it. People are screaming for a tank designer and we got it. PDX is listening to the community. I guess in a way I'm thankful that we've got 1939 start because it's coded into the game, because then modders can code in their own start date scenarios, which they have done, which in most cases have made some really cool mods. To see what you're missing, guys, I thought I'd just load up Hoi 2 right now and we could just have a look at it and have a look at some of the start dates because I think they're kind of fun to look at. So here we go, guys. This shows the start dates in Hoi 2. So for instance, this is a really good one. Germany. Oh god, look at this, boys. So D-Day has just happened. You have to manually stay if it's attack or a support attack or an artillery bombardment. That's funny. Can we try and stop them? Should we do that? Should we try and stop them? Defeat. For some reason, guys, I don't think we're going to win this war. I don't know. I'm getting this impression, you know? Anyway, we were ready to just look at the map, weren't we? Sorry. So you got like the eastern front here, and you can see that you're getting absolutely dumpstered here as well. Most of Italy's been taken in 1944 as well. Once again, it's really fun to look at the map, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to look at the map, but in all fairness, like, you're going to look at the map and then you're going to be done with it. A yellow Japan, guys. How do you guys feel about that? This is actually a really fun scenario to do to see if you can win. But once again, you play this once and you never play it again because you can't do any of the planning. Defeat, defeat, defeat. Making encirclements in Hoi 2 was really difficult as well because the provinces were like so unbelievably big. To get around the back to cut someone off was actually really difficult. The exploit strategy in Hoi 2 was to make fully equipped mountaineers with like artillery onto them and max out the artillery because mountaineers like did really well onto all terrains. They were stupidly OP. Should we look at 941 as well? So what we got here, we got Vichy France and intact Italy. Oh, we've got like the decline of Africa now, haven't we? The pocket of Tobruk. Some of the issues with the start dates as well is they're not vastly different from each other. So in overall, it doesn't make a really big impact on your actual gameplay experience. Because like practically the borders are the same. The only thing that's really different between this scenario and the 1944 one is you've got the D-Day here and the Africa situation. That's pretty much it. The borders on East and West are practically the same. So you tend to find here, even though this is like a completely different start date, the actual scenarios themselves aren't vastly different. Like in 1938, it's a weird one too. This is probably one no one would ever select. Because yet again, you're in between 1939 and 1938. Yeah, it just seems weird to me. To come back to what I previously said, and I'll say it again, the reason people never played them, or the numbers were so unbelievably low, is one, people would just look at them and not play them because they just wanted to look what the map looked like at that current part of the war, which I'll admit I did that too because it was fun. And then second, you didn't get the pleasure of building up your nation from the ground up from 1936. It's kind of the reason why some people ask for 1933 starts, for instance, because they want an option to build the nation up more. By the way, that's never going to happen as well because the truth is the games would be too long. Like, think about it, an extra 3 years of game time should basically be at peace. That sounds so boring. Hence the reason why 1936 is like the best start date. Yeah, 1933 start, aka the civilian factory build scenario. Fun, eh? These are some of the scenarios as well, like alt history scenarios. I don't know what this one is. Vanguard 1936. I'm curious. One elements from Hoi 2 that I think I really enjoyed, that I really liked, was the be able to change your political ideology with sliders. I just thought it was kind of cool that you had the ability to like adjust your nation's policy to make the Soviet Union more democratic. How cool is that? I've increased dissent for the Soviet Union 31% because I moved too much towards democracy. The Russians clearly do not want democracy. When sliders exist, people would only go all the way to the left and all the way to the right. A bit like politics today, isn't it? Where's the middle ground, eh? This is kind of what inspired a lot of Kaiserreich stuff, for instance. Like, look at European Soviets. It's like a 1984 scenario. Oh, and there's some like modern war scenarios too. These were kind of cool, but man, I'll say it again. These are ones that people played once and never, ever came back to again. You're probably looking at this with nostalgia goggles on, guys. Take them off for a second and realize very few people played these. And if they played them once, they never played them again. Oh, Israel's declared war on us! Oh! Oh crap, we're getting absolutely dumpstered. I think we lost, boys. Now we have to wait for the UN to save us. Oh god, those scenarios are so bad. Yeah, you play these once and then you never play them again. Hence the point. Anyway, boys, I hope I give you a bit of an idea why Hoi 4 does not have multiple start dates. And I hope that answers your question. And I know it won't quench your appetite for them because I know you guys are going to keep screaming for them forever and ever and ever. Nobody plays them and it's a massive waste of developer time. Hey, you made it to the end. Now, this is the video you want.